Welcome to our Chef at the Market virtual demonstration brought to you by RV Ag. Each week we will be featuring local chefs who will be sharing recipes using farm fresh products sourced from the RV Ag online marketplace. For more information or recipes, visit our website.
Hello, my name is Jenny Tremblay West. I am a recipe writer and developer. I teach classes at Mise en Place Cooking School, which is downtown in Shockoe-Slip. Today we are going to make Maque Choux, which is a Cajun take on a Native American corn dish. You can make it with bacon or shrimp or sausage, and you can make it with a variety of vegetables, so whatever you have on hand or things that are in season. So it's not limited to what we've got today, but today we've got bacon, green bell peppers, corn, some tomato, onion, garlic, and some herbs. So we would love to highlight some of our produce and meats that we got from our farmers market. So the bacon we're using today is from Windy Hill Farm. The corn, the bell peppers, onions, garlic, jalapenos all came from Little Green Farm. And then our beautiful little cherry tomatoes are from Island Farms. Okay, to start off, we are going to slice and cut our bacon. You want it into about 1-inch little chunks. Next, then we are going to saute that in the pan. You want to get it to crispy, hard fried. You're going to remove it from the pan and reserve the bacon fat that is rendered, and you want to use about 2 tablespoons of that. So if you have an excess of bacon fat, remove some and leave in about 2 tablespoons. If you don't have enough, you can use a little bit of cooking oil or butter to make up for the difference. Depends on the lean bacon that you get. Next, we're going to move on to our vegetables. The first things that you want to prep would be your onions and your garlic. So you're going to cut open your onions and you're going to chop them into a tiny dice. And then for your garlic, you're going to mince it. Next, we are going to chop our green bell peppers. You want to make sure that you're being careful and removing the outside only and leaving the kind of seed ball intact. Then we're going to move on to our jalapenos, which, depending on how spicy you like it, if you like it spicy, you can leave the seeds in or you can take them out. Same method for the jalapenos. You can slice along the sides and keep the seed ball intact. Next, we're going to remove all the kernels of the corn. Carefully, if you have a pound cake pan and you have a center in it, you can cut it along the sides of that to keep all your corn in one place. Or you can wing it and have your corn flying in all directions. But either way, you just want to get all of the corn that you can off of the cob. Next, we're going to chop up our herbs, our chives or scallions, whichever you're using. And you can leave your thyme whole on the stem and just place it into the pan while everything's sauteing. The cherry tomatoes, depending on the size, or if you have a regular tomato, you can cut them in half just to help them get some of their juices out. So. And then you're going to make sure that you salt and pepper everything along the way. Apple cider vinegar is at the very end just to kind of punch everything up. Yeah, you can also add heavy cream or extra butter to it if you want to enrich the dish, but I like it simple. So we are going to open up our Windy Hill Farms bacon. I'm using a knife. Kitchen scissors would probably be a little handy to have here. This is probably plenty. It's 4 really big pieces. So 4, 6, you can change the amount that you use depending on how much you or your family likes bacon. My family loves bacon. And then we're just going to slice it into about 1-inch slices. And this is very wide, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it long ways, and then I will cut it down a little bit more. You want nice little kind of crispy bits that'll go on top of this dish here. So I can just do 1 nice long slice down the middle just to get it into nice little bits. Okay, so we've ended up with pretty even bits. Since bacon doesn't really cook super evenly, it's not of the utmost importance to keep it the same size. We've got yellow onions, white onions, red onions. Again, this dish is very flexible. You can use what you have on hand or what you're able to find at the market that day. You're just going to do a dice. I have 2 onions here. You want a heavy amount of onions. It's a nice base to layer this dish in. It's really small. So I'm chopping into the garlic here. I got 2, 3, 4 cloves, very flexible. How much garlic you like. I like a lot of garlic, so I'm gonna go with 4 cloves today. Okay, to chop garlic, I just kind of do a claw grip and then slide your knife through it as many times as you can. The thinner, the better. It kind of breaks it down quicker. And I like to do all of the garlic at one time just so you can come back and kind of mince it up. And slide it all off your knife and then into a little pile, and you can just run your knife through it a few more times. So just gonna take the sides off of the bell pepper. If you can see, just keeping that root, the seed ball intact, and I'm slicing the sides off. And it gets a little tricky just towards the end, but basically you just keep all of the seeds in one swoop there. The exact size is not critical. You want things to be about the same size so that they cook evenly. And this is about the same size as our onion in the kernels of corn. Moving on to our jalapenos, you can also use poblano peppers, Anaheim peppers. You don't want too much heat, but it is a Cajun dish, so you want a little bit of heat to it. So I am not gonna go crazy spicy, especially since I'm gonna use 2 jalapenos. I'm gonna take the exterior off of the seeds. If a few seeds get in there, I'm cool with it. And when you're using a hot chili or pepper like this, you wanna kind of dice it a little smaller than you would your bell peppers, just so that nobody gets a large piece of chili, but you definitely want the color in there. So if you can use a red bell pepper or these pretty red jalapenos, it's great. So I'm just going a little smaller than we did with our. Okay, we've moved on to our corn, which is the main star of this dish. This is a beautiful white corn. So you want to take your blade and kind of get into the cob a little bit. So I kind of cut in at an angle towards the cob piece of it, and then I flick it out a little bit so that you're kind of trying to get the most bang for your buck here. And these are kind of smaller kernels, so. Okay, so we've got all the corn off there. You want about 3 cups. I think this is a little less than, definitely it's probably more like 2 cups, but if you can get another cob of corn, that would be ideal just because that's the main base for this dish here. I have some chives, they're just garden chives. You can use scallions. If you don't have either of those things, a shallot would be great. Kind of just as a final garnish, anything that's got a little bit more flavor to it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mince these up. You don't need a ton of them. And the thyme, I'm gonna leave whole and just toss it into our dish to cook, and then I'll remove the stems when we're finished. We have these little tomatoes, and I'm just gonna cut them open and take the stems off because I can't throw the stems in. So I'm trying to get about at least a cup of these cherry tomatoes. So I'm trying to eyeball what we've got here, and I'm guessing that this is probably gonna be close enough where I can always chop a few more and add in as we go. So we are gonna move over to our saute pan and put it on about medium-high heat to fry off our bacon. We are looking for, again, a crisp, fully rendered bacon. You're gonna remove the bacon from the rendered fat and put it onto a plate with a paper towel on it so that it can stay crispy. And we're going to look at the amount of fat that the bacon gives off and assess it, and if we need to take any out or if you want to keep it all in. You're looking for about 2 full tablespoons, or if you tilt the pan and it's got a nice little layer, that's great. It doesn't have to be precise. Once we get our bacon rendered off, then we're going to start to saute our onions and our garlic and bell peppers all in one kind of fell swoop. Then we are adding in our corn and our tomatoes and our fresh herbs. So it comes together really quickly. Once you get all of your chopping done, you want to saute your corn for about 3 to 4 minutes. You want it to cook through, but you want it to stay really fresh tasting. And then you make sure that salt and pepper it along the way. So this is what we have, our Maque Choux finely plated. We have it topped with bacon, but you can absolutely use andouille sausage or shrimp. You could keep it vegetarian and just use olive oil to saute the veggies. It would be really great to bring as a side dish to a potluck. I would amp up your amounts a little bit because as you can see here, this probably serves a family of 4. So a great side dish or as a main course with a little side salad. Thank you so much.